Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Fern and Atlantic Studios. Your host, Joe, that's me, and some guy, Ed. Ed. Close week this week, but how you
Yeah, I
doing?
know. It's actually quite fun when it actually comes down to the final game. Like,
Uh-huh.
so last week we were 7-7 heading into the final game. The only annoying thing is that it was your second pick and it was the Bucks against the Giants.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too confident that
Mm.
that they were going to pull it out. But yeah, no, we had a pretty close week to be fair. I got some
Yeah,
nice wins
let me
there
let me
during
tell
the
you
end of the
about
week.
this one.
Go on.
Obviously, Alex asked us if we're tired or not, and I'm like, then I was like, oh, let me just count it up, and I was like, oh, we are. I didn't see who I picked, but then I was like, we're just down to one game because then I had to just run out the door and do something. And then like obviously the game's the getting closer and closer to the time. It's like Bucks and Giants, and I like forgot who I picked. I was like, oh no, please don't let it be. I just walk in, I see Bucks on the page. Thank you very much, and carry on with my life.
Because I needed to win the last two games, and the last two games were Chargers at Steelers, and I managed
Yep.
to watch the first half of it, and I was like,
Mm,
oh, I felt confident watching it. Like, big, to be fair, Big Blaine, not Big Blaine Gabbert, Big Ben made a couple
jeez.
plays
Yeah.
for the Steelers offense, and they could have had a couple more points if their throws were a little bit better or the catches were a little bit better. Like, a couple of them were just a little bit off
It's
those little bits.
it's becoming a theme, isn't it? Though
It's
becoming a
it's
theme.
been happening for years now. And then Chargers just smacked them the rest of the game. But then the
They
Steelers came
didn't
back,
though.
came
They
back near
came
the
back.
end. Yeah, they came back near the
They
end.
came back, and we had the ball in the last 2 minutes. I would say we came back and we were leading at the end, and then it showed the deficiencies that we've shown throughout the game. We couldn't really stop the Chargers. You could see a team that is missing somebody like a lot. We can't beat a mobile. It seems like a mobile quarterback and a running game, a good running game, is very much our weakness. However, what failed us in that final 2 minutes, or leading up to the 2 minutes, was what has been for the last couple of years. It's the secondary, a blown coverage at the kind of the most vital point in their kind of stand, and then when it comes to actually running the 2 minute drill, two of the last two throws of the game for Big Ben, he was throwing out of his own end zone because he gave up 2 sacks, which took up half the field. And it's been like the story that's been the story for however long now. What that was with you, when you knocked us out, that was with the Browns when they knocked us out. It's just how it goes, isn't it? But this time we actually had an injured TJ Watt, which showed throughout the whole game, and I think it showed last week as well.
Yeah, TJ Watt was out. Obviously, there's a couple of players missing from your secondary.
Yeah, I mean, had
Um,
Tyson Aluvalu as
the guy
nose
who's supposed to
tackle.
be a Jag, but for some reason, last second decided to be a Steeler. Weird
Yeah,
ass move, but
well, yeah, remember because he was literally on the way to sign with you. He got COVID, so couldn't do it, and he just never left Pittsburgh from then on. I'm like, all right then. But
um,
it shows because since he's gone down, they've been running. Teams have been running through the middle. Cam Hayward must be annoyed at being the only one to make plays.
Fitzpatrick is obviously out as well in your secondary. Then you have Hayden out as well. Isn't a couple of
Joe Hayden,
DBs?
yeah,
Your couple of
yeah,
DBs
the
are out as well,
TVs, yeah,
but
yeah.
so overall, Joel, you had a pretty decent week. You went 6-2. Your two
Yeah.
losses were well. So okay, the Panthers. Sorry, Washington beat Carolina, but your other loss
I'll take
was
that. I'll
yeah.
take
Go
that.
on,
This
take this
one,
one.
go on.
Your your number one pick.
Yeah. So what is going on over there? I understand. I understand the big man has gone down, but what is going on here?
Here's the thing. I was gonna say I think I clocked it, but I ain't clocked shit because I'm what? What am I? I am 8-1. Oh, what? Sorry, 1-8. I'm 1-8.
Mm,
You know
mm,
how we talk about the Falcons, like the way we do our format, where we pick teams depending on
yeah.
matchup, whatever. Falcons are the toughest team to pick because you never know. Like they can just pull out these random wins, and they're like, "How the fuck did the Falcons win it?" Then there's the Vikings, which is just a little level above the Falcons. they would lose to these shitty ass teams, but then not beat up, but win against really good teams. And you have the
Yep.
Titans, who are an upgraded version of the Vikings. And we spoken about this before. Against the good teams, run, annoy them, get the win. Against these smaller teams, they just happen to lose to them. I just don't understand it. Like,
But
it's
it's been going on for like weeks now, and I can't even turn around and be like, oh, they've been playing bad teams week after week, because they're not scoring many points. There was a time where it looked like AP came through for them. I think that first week that Derrick Henry went down.
I mean, I wasn't expecting much, but
yeah. But since that, like, not even just him, just everything on over there has gone down. I wasn't expecting though. What's his name to come back? The unluckiest QB in all of history.
Which one are we talking about?
For the Texans.
Oh, fuck, the old Bills guy.
Oh,
The Chargers guy from last year, Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor. There we go. Tyrod Taylor. I wasn't expecting him to come back this week. He was back. He played very well. However, like, the Titans had nothing. Is Derrick Henry. I understand he's Derrick Henry, but does he really mean that much to them?
Of course he does. Of course he does.
But you can't collapse like that. Derrick Henry isn't throwing the ball. Like, he's not throwing the ball. And Ryan Tannehill looked good.
Part of it is the fear as well. Like, obviously, you have to stack the box. You have to stack the box. There's obviously going to be one less defender. Well, you're assuming. Again, I haven't watched Titans in depth. Like, actually, no, okay, cool. How many people are in the box? Like, when you had Derrick Henry versus when you didn't. That'd be like a good thing to check. But there's going to be less players stacking the box. And then you're also saying, all right, Tannehill, throw it against us. Cool. Like, we're not worried about the running game. Like, or yeah, you can say we're not worried about the running game. Like, your O-line may be fine, but it's not Derrick Henry fine. You don't have all these house balls as soon as he breaks the first level.
They're not dropping 9 guys into coverage. Like, there's going to be holes somewhere, surely.
Yeah, maybe their offensive weapons aren't as good as we think they are. AJ Brown may be decent, but
Julio, AJ,
yeah, he's getting old.
AP, like two name brand guys that are very old. 2 of them are very old, but it's still Julio Jones. Like, we were saying that he wasn't doing that well because he was in Atlanta, and obviously they're Atlanta. So, but when he comes out, he'll be like, have a new career. Like, who, like, bloody hell, can't remember it now. All of them are eluding me right now. But you know, when Brady went, things were looking down at the Patriots. Brady went away, looked like the old school Brady again. Also, different game, but the Browns and Lions. What's happening over in Cleveland? Because the fans are booing Baker.
I'm not surprised. Like, also, I think people are saying that they weren't necessarily just booing Baker; they were also booing the wide receiver and the offense in general. But Baker's always going to take it personally, I guess.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's the Lions. I told you we struggled against the Lions. Clearly, a game that we should have won, and again, a close game at the end, which we could have won. Steelers, but
if they have a chance this week, Thanksgiving game. This is the one time the Lions are always in the spotlight. Thanksgiving. They always get this primetime Thanksgiving game. This is their chance.
They're going to blow that as well.
So you went 2-8, but then I went. So you went 2-6. I went 2-5 because there was an extra game and because you had an extra pick, and your extra pick you picked the Eagles against the Saints with the 15th pick overall. But my 2 incorrect picks was I took the Packers over the Vikings. I was so annoyed by that drive. Aaron Rodgers got the touchdown with like there was like 2 and a bit minutes left, like just under 3 minutes left. They got a touchdown. That means the Vikings have got 2 minutes left of normal time. Of normal time. I was like, oh no, they've got enough time to score. There's a couple calls where they could have gone either way, and then the second game I got incorrect. Fucking, I picked the Bills over the Colts. What is happening with the Bills? It just seems like the whole AFC and NFC is wide open. I have no idea. Again, like you said last week, I have no idea who number 1 pick could be going into the playoffs.
These are 2 teams that have done like the complete opposite coming into the season. Like, the Bills started off on a high, obviously after the Steelers, but they kind of like railroaded everyone else for a bit. The Colts did the opposite. Like, they came in kind of weak and have like picked up surely. Jonathan Taylor for MVP yet?
No, come on.
Yeah. Obviously, since a couple of
he's been really prominent,
good, but a couple prominent Colts fans and team members have obviously been pushing the Jonathan Taylor for MVP
Yeah.
wagon now that Derrick Henry is gone, and it looks like the NFL are starting to, like, on their socials, they're starting to push that. So that would be one to
Okay.
watch. That would be one to watch. But however, he showed he's a guy. He
Definitely.
definitely announced he was a guy in that game.
I remember because I think it was a day 2 draft pick, and I can't remember if it was
Out of
last year or
Wisconsin,
2 years ago. And
UW.
I remember the Jags had a pick a little while earlier, just before that Jonathan Taylor pick, and talking to my Jags mates. Like there's like 3 of us who, like, we've got a chat, we talk about Jag stuff. Like, so there's 3 teams we all follow: Jags, Chelsea, and the Gators. So that's all the chat that's all the chat that happens there. And my mate was like, "Oh, why the fuck did we not get Jonathan Taylor? Like, he's so good. Like, I'm surprised he's even falling this much." And I was like, "Oh, really? Like, oh, okay, cool." And I always just kept that in the back of my mind. Oh, like, Jack should have drafted Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
And when I see him doing it in our division as well, I was like, no. The good thing, I
It was
mean, we
rough.
still end up getting James Robinson as an undrafted rookie, but still
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor.
it worked out. Yeah, I mean, that's a kind of worked out for both party situation. Obviously, the Jonathan Taylor one would have been great.
Oh yeah,
However, you
yeah.
don't know what he would have been able to produce in
Oh,
Jacksonville. That's always the kind of thing.
definitely.
And you got a guy that was ready to produce for you for cheap, for free, basically. So there's that. But yeah, that game,
Also dangerous. I wouldn't be surprised if they get to the even the conference game,
yeah, they
conference
said,
divisional game. I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, Frank Wright. They said he's the guy that can fix Carson Wentz.
It's I'm mad, but then I'm not mad sometimes at Carson Wentz, because he makes those stupid plays, but then he sometimes backs it up with those amazing plays as well. Like, maybe if you don't want him to make either, cool, but like, it's in his DNA to make those amazing plays and those thick plays as well. But yeah,
that's the kind of thing where the ball can bounce either way. It did for a year in Philly, like an exceptional year, but then it kind of stopped working. Now it's working again. Will it continue? We will
it'd be
find
a confidence thing.
Yeah,
Like,
but he's doing what Josh Allen was doing last year, but Josh Allen was obviously a bit more effective with it, I believe.
okay.
Like the kind of movement and the never giving up on plays. I think Josh Allen is definitely better at it. He kind of makes his decisions a bit quicker. A lot quicker.
I get what you're saying. I felt it was more unrefined Russell Wilson. Like, it feels like the crazy stuff Russell Wilson does, where he's like diving all over the, like, Pete Russell Wilson, like, just doing mad stuff.
Fair enough. It feels, if I'll give you that. Yeah,
it feels clumsy when Wentz does it. It feels like, he feels like a klutz. Again, he's a fucking professional NFL quarterback who, like, one of the best players in this position. I call him a klutz, but it looks a lot more clumsy. That's my 2 cents. But
no, you're right. But then if it's not working for Josh Allen right now, like, it's not clicking the way it should. Like, he took a massive step before last season. This season, everyone's expecting him to take that little more and be like fully MVP all year round. But I think the Bills will come back still before the playoffs.
Do you know what's just clocking right now? How many weeks have we got left? So we've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 8 weeks left.
6. Jeez. 8 weeks left.
I need to win out the remaining weeks in order to win outright.
Well, let's make sure that doesn't happen.
So you are 8-1-2. I am 1-8-2. I'm obviously tanking for the number 1 pick next year. And as I just mentioned, I have to go perfect for the remainder of the year from week 12 to 19 to get the number 1 pick. I'm going to be my Tampa flex now.
Nagy, you should be fired.
I'm going to be on my Tampa flex now. I just had my bye week. I'm on the Tampa 2020 flex. Right. So week 12, Thanksgiving week, we have got same amount of games last week, so 15. Only 2 teams on the bye. 2 teams are Cardinals and KC. The matchups, you've got Chicago, Detroit, Las Vegas, Dallas, Buffalo, New Orleans, Tampa, Indy, Jets, Houston, Philly, Giants, Cardinals, Miami, Tennessee, New England, Pittsburgh, Cincy, nice little divisional game there. Atlanta, Jacks, Chargers, Broncos, LA. What was that? Oh, Rams, Green Bay, Minnesota, San Francisco, Cleveland, Baltimore, another divisional game, and then Seahawks, Washington. No.
Yep.
Some tasty little matchups there.
Yeah, and I think this is a hard week to pick.
Yeah. Like those clearer tiers I felt other weeks compared to this week, but
yeah. All the teams in your, all the teams on your don't touch tiers are coming together. All the teams on your I would pick them first tiers are up against each other.
yeah.
And then your middle mixers that are based off of momentum, they're all kind of together as well. So this will once again another swing week, I think. That's proven NFL is a week-to-week league. So with the first pick, I'm going to go with a bounce back for the Bills at the Saints. They're just a better team, and I think they're gonna stop their skid and kind of focus up for the rest of the season.
Are you worried about the Bills?
Yes, but it's not like a panic. It's they're gonna turn it around. The question is when, like I said with the Chiefs. Well, I'm not as strong in that stance as I am with the Chiefs, but they have the players to, and they should be better. And that's just what it is.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, no, that was pretty high on my list as well. Looking at that matchup, Buffalo, New Orleans. With my first pick, yeah, I don't know if he's back or not. It's also injury reports. I don't know which players are going to be back, who isn't.
Oh yeah, that I've given up on trying to guess that now because that's ridiculous.
I am going to go for. Right. Fuck it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm all in. I'm going for the Patriots at home against the Titans.
That is a nice one. I was hoping it would drop a bit more.
I'm pretty pleased with how the
Obviously.
Patriots are doing. I thought I was pretty high on them to start the season. They had a couple tough games, but they're pretty decent. Like I think the good thing in my life is that I don't know any Patriots fans that are really annoying or yeah. So that is a big positive for me that I don't feel. I know a lot of Americans are getting really annoyed by the Patriots resurgence. Like they just had all that success and then they're good again. I feel like they'll be like Man United going through the Sir Alex Ferguson period, having like 2 shit years and being back to being dominant. That would really annoy me. So. No, I'm pretty good on the Patriots and of course Titans. As I said to you, I'm worried about them because they tend to do better against the better teams.
Yeah, they've definitely cleaned up their act. The Patriots have from the beginning of the season. Momentum is on their side. Obviously, Bill, once he gets things clicking, he normally carries on that way. The Titans have been on a downswing. I think they're still trying to find their identity without big man Derrick Henry, but it shouldn't really be that hard. But this has exposed a lot of people for some reason.
JA, what is your second pick?
Yeah, I am going to choose the Chargers at the Broncos because I don't trust the Broncos, and the Chargers have put up a lot of points last week against my team. I made it look quite easy.
That was the thing with the Broncos. Like 1 week, they absolutely shut down the Cowboys. And the week after, just had a really dreadful game when they let a lot of points into a poor offense. Last week, they had a great week, but they hadn't been the past couple of weeks before then weren't too good. And we're assuming they're the better team than the Broncos. Broncos do seem like a bit of a front runner team. When they're in the lead, they tend to keep the lead and do quite well. But Chargers may go off to an early start and it may be sayonara after that. For my second pick, I am gonna take. Okay, I think I might go for another bounce back. I am going for Dallas at home against Las Vegas.
No.
That's the first Thanksgiving game we've taken, and yeah, Vegas had a little bit of a bounce after Gruden left, and it seems like they're now regressing to where they were meant to be. And Dallas had, I didn't feel as bad about Dallas as most other people felt because it seems like the Chiefs were now actually kicking into gear. Maybe it was a big point for Dallas to actually step on the neck of the Chiefs and they didn't do it. But I don't know. I feel okay with this matchup.
Yeah, that's fair enough. There's not much you can do with that. I was picking the Cowboys. Obviously, yeah, bounce back, but I think last week they were up against a good team and they just lost. And that was it.
Your third pick.
My third pick, I'm going Eagles at the Giants.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the Eagles have shown me they can score a lot more points in a single game than Giants can. And that's just that, really. Two bad teams. That's just that.
I have been super low on the Eagles all year, but somehow they are in the playoff race. I have no idea how. I guess it's just the lower tier of the NFC that they're still fucking in the playoff race.
Yeah,
But
I mean the higher tier of the NFC is so high that you forget there are still a lot of places like on that side of the conference that a lot of bad teams can squeak into and then just get knocked out straight away in the first round, and it'll be like it never happened. So it's just kind of that kind of thing.
I don't know whether to risk it or not. Yeah, fuck it. They nearly lost to the Lions. I'm taking the Ravens over the Browns.
The Ravens have not been putting up points.
They beat the Bears.
They have not been putting up points.
And the Browns have.
Is Lamar coming back from the illness?
This
mystery illness
has
actually taken him out of games, but it's not COVID.
That can happen. You can always have the illnesses. Like Mason Mount had his wisdom tooth out, and before then they said it was there was a non-COVID related illness.
They said he was curled up in a ball on the flight.
Yeah, doesn't sound
the day before the game.
To be fair, that doesn't sound like COVID symptoms. No one was like curved up. Oh, okay, maybe not no one, but like majority of people weren't curved up in a ball. I mean, when I had COVID, I wasn't curved up in a ball. I was still working. To be fair, working from home, obviously. But yeah. I've got that. Yeah, I'd rather have the Ravens than the Browns. I mean, I was higher on the Browns to start the year, but yeah.
They've just been squeaking out performances, and I don't know what they're doing. But they're winning. But then, yeah.
Your fourth pick.
I'm going to take. This can be dumb, but I'm taking the Panthers at the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and sweep up all the bad teams and try and guess their losses.
I mean, you say that. Fucking the bad teams have been winning games. The bad teams have been winning these games out of nowhere.
Yeah, but now the bad teams up against each other. Like these with teams of similar records that are not winning records are up against each other. So you have to guess which one is cursed more.
Cool. So my fourth pick, I'm gonna go for. Do I risk it? Do I take the other Thanksgiving game? Or do I let it slip one more? I want to let you pick that one. I'm gonna let you pick this specific matchup. So I want to quickly go another way, and I am going to take. Yeah, let's go for it. No, sorry, I'm being super indecisive. So usually I've got my preparation sorted. I know what I'm doing. I've sort of thrown that out of the book now because it hasn't worked for the past 11 weeks.
Yeah.
Do I trust them to win this week? No, I don't. Okay. I'm just gonna go for a secured win. I'm taking the Bengals over the Steelers.
Nice. I was gonna have all the away teams.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I literally just picked all the home teams. That's it. We've made 7 picks, and I've got all the home teams. You got all the away teams.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for all the home teams now.
I'm not gonna lie, it's going to continue.
Any thoughts on this matchup?
No, not really. Kind of see what it is, see who's playing, see who's not, and we'll go in.
Are you secretly wishing that you're tanking right now?
No, because there's not like amazing players at our needs. I don't believe. Like our main thing is we need a future QB. We've literally picked the worst draft class to name the QB in. Like,
Yeah. Anyway, cool.
all I can think of is Thibodeau, but that once again he's what DN.
For some reason, I thought you meant Tom Thibodeau from the Knicks. So the Knicks coach. Man, why the fuck is he talking about Tom Thibodeau? Like, but yeah, okay. I was gonna say. So if you were to pick this matchup, who would you have picked?
I think I may have. Let me just check week 11, but I was thinking Bengals.
Okay, fair.
Just because,
good thing you said that whilst covering the terrible title. That's a good thing.
yeah, no, it's just because they are scoring a lot more points a lot more frequently. Hopefully, I would have been wrong, but it is what it is. And with my next pick, I'm taking the Buccaneers at the Colts. For no other reason than it's two good teams clashing against each other. And I think the Bucks defense is better than the Colts defense. And that's that.
This could be a time for possession game.
Yeah.
I'm worried that that the Colts would dominate time of possession, but then it would still be like a one possession game. And Tom Brady will have like a late drive or something like that when he can win it for the Bucks. That's what I'm worried about. But
Brady is definitely a lot more efficient than Carson, so that's just what I'm relying on. If they try and hold the ball, his efficiency and his ability to have like a million targets, they can't cover everyone. Let's go, and the run game is still good.
Now, just for the sake of it, I want to continue the trend of picking all the home teams. And I'm just looking at the home teams. I'm like, and I can see Rams and Green Bay, and I'm there like, Rams are coming off a bye. We know their record, their whole like, frankly, ridiculous record of never losing a game after being up during halftime. But Green Bay are pretty good as well. That could be the divisional game this year to the Super Bowl. I always forget. Yeah, the divisional game, the conference game. Sorry, fuck. I always get conference and divisional confused. The conference game could be Packers, Rams, but yeah, I'm gonna go for Green Bay. I'm gonna take Green Bay at home against the warm weather Rams coming into Lambeau. I hope there's a little bit of snow.
Yeah,
it snows this time of the year, does it not, in Wisconsin?
Yeah, you would assume such things are a big deterrent.
Which team would you have wanted out of these two?
I mean, now that you've said that, I would want the Packers. Obviously, another week back again for Aaron Rodgers. There was a little blip on the obviously 2-minute management situation, but
I'm just worried they've got a bye.
Happens.
They've got a bye against Green Bay. That's the thing I'm worried about the most. Odell's had another week to prepare with his new team.
Yeah.
Von Miller's had another week to recover and repair against that pancake from George Kittle. And you're hoping that they'll be better off a bye.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Oh, I'm not hoping that, but yeah.
Rough. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for the Texans at home to the Jets.
That was the only home game that you could have picked.
Yeah, I'm gonna ruin it.
Only home game you could have picked. But do you know my issue with this?
What?
I don't believe Texans will ever win back-to-back games. I saw they won last week, and I'm like, they're not going to win this week again. I know it's the Jets, but I can't see them winning this week
Jets, again. They may put in Wilson again because he apparently there was a thing saying that he could have come back last week, but they're like, no, don't rush it. So they push it back a week. They can't push it back another week. So if they don't believe in him, they'll have to actually bench him instead of putting him on the injury list. So that's what I'm hoping on the dysfunction there.
Well, since you ruined the whole thing now, I have to select a home team.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You can carry it on. But
So the home team I'm going to select is I'm going to take Chicago against Detroit.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you 100% sure? They've been looking closer and closer to a win each week.
Yeah,
And
but yeah.
and no one in Chicago likes to play calling.
Yeah, but it's Detroit. Yeah, I do get what you mean. That's what I mean. That's why we let it slip this far down. Like it's the last 4 picks, and yeah, I don't feel super comfortable because, like you, I do feel like Detroit does have a chance. Like I do hope for their sake they do get a win for Dan Campbell and for that team. Like it must be so hard to be an elite athlete, go through all that training that you have to do to be an NFL athlete, be an elite player, and then lose apart from one, not win a game the whole season. It must be really hard. And you see what coaches say when they lose games. They do all that prep, spend all that hours, and they lose a game. And they're just so drained. They look so defeated when they lose. And I would like them to get a win, but yeah.
Yeah.
3 games left.
You know,
Atlanta, Jacksonville, Minnesota, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington. We're saying Seattle, Washington, feels to you.
yes, that is true. Yeah, that is true. What to do? Like, obviously, if we go by name brand, if we go by name brand, there's one pick that there's only one team that really should be picked. What are the games left, by the way? Just
I'm
gonna recap it for the people.
Atlanta, Jacksonville, Minnesota,
Mhm.
San Francisco, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah. There's only one name that sticks out there that normally would be picked and normally would be a long gone by now. So I'm going to go with Washington at home to Seattle. He don't look good, man. He don't look good. But they're gonna keep putting him out there because they have to win.
Again, I'm not particularly high on Washington. I thought you would have gone for Seattle, but yeah, Seattle did not look good last week, not by any stretch.
And they didn't look good the week before.
No, against Packers, no, they didn't. Yeah,
they haven't looked good since Russell's injury.
They haven't looked good
need them
since
back in
they
today.
whacked up the Jags with Geno Smith. That's the last time they looked good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. That's all I can say on that.
So, got Atlanta, Jacksonville, and then Minnesota, San Francisco. Arguably the lineup I should know the most about because obviously I watched Jacksonville, San Francisco last week. Cool. I am. Oh, okay. I'm telling you which game I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick between Minnesota, San Francisco. I'll let you pick Atlanta, Jacksonville. I keep on wanting to say Atalanta because I was just watching the Champions League stuff alongside the Chelsea game. Atlanta, Jacksonville. I'll let you pick that one. So think about that. I am going to pick between Minnesota and San Francisco. I am taking. Fuck it. I'm going to carry on my trend and picking San Francisco and letting them disappoint me.
Let's hope that carries on, especially that when you give me the Vikings, they've been pretty good for me this season, apparently, but only when you give them to me. I can't pick them.
They are favorites, which means they should lose.
Yeah, that is also true. That is also true. What have you got any analysis for that one? Just hope and a prayer.
I 49ers have got a really good run offense, and as much as the Jags have been dreadful, the best bit of their team has been their defense, especially their run defense is pretty good. I think their run defense has been really, really good, like getting men into the box, trying to take down tacklers, unless their name is Derrick Henry. They've been pretty good at stopping the run. I do feel that that San Francisco will win time of possession against the Vikings, and the Vikings do like some big plays. Depends how much Dalvin Cook is involved. I hope 49ers can nullify Dalvin Cook, which means that they have to throw a lot. And if they do throw a lot, I don't think they'll be able to succeed just because of time possession. I think San Francisco win. If that makes sense. It made sense all in my head, which is why I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
So they're going to end up losing.
I'll give you that. So I've already put mine down. And I'm going to go with the Falcons at the Jags.
Thank you very much.
Uh, I mean, it is what it is. I don't trust the Jags to win, and I don't trust the Falcons to win. But the Falcons have won more than the Jags, so that's your analysis.
So usually I do a recap of all the games, but let's just say how it goes. I've got all the home teams apart from Tennessee, Washington, and Detroit. You've got all the away teams apart from the Jets, Seahawks, and the Bears. Who have I got? That's how it is.
Yeah.
Well, I actually like it. I've got all the home teams for once. Maybe that's the difference. Last week in the close games, actually, so I like to keep track of the close games. There were 6 games of one possession, and we were 3-3 in them. So again, pretty close last week. Last week was a pretty close week.
Just realized that the Falcons really did score 0 points last week. Yikes.
It was against the Patriots, to be fair. It was against the Patriots.
That is, yeah, that's true. But it's not looking like a great pick already, but they have surprised me before. Let's hope they continue.
I'm just looking at some of our last picks. Last week, both our last picks we got correct. The week before, 50-50. The week before that, 50-50. The week before that, 50-50, 50-50. Yeah, we had some good and some bad weeks on our last pick. No particular trend, but yeah. Anywho.
Well, we hope.
Anywho. Thank you very much for your time, JA. I'll chat to you soon.
See you later.
Peace, boy.
Peace.
Oh shit, sorry, I'm recording.